Thank you and welcome to our show. This is the Al Islam Community Issues Group. This is a very popular show that we do. It's called Movie Review. And I'll be one of your hosts today, Brother Benjamin Shabazz. To my right, Brother Naeem Sharif. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
To my far right, Brother Julius Anwar.
Assalamu alaikum.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Walaikum assalam. So we're going to open up with a brief dua. Please join us if you like. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Ameen.
Amen.
We're asking for Almighty God's protection and that we get the most benefit and are able to convey to you the most benefit of what we've researched for you. So in movie review, we like to go out, see movies, and then do a little write-up on it to come back and let you know whether the show is worth seeing, bringing your family to, bringing your children to, what to expect, what not to expect, so you can save some money. Because you know the movies is talking about, what, $14, $15, $17 sometimes just to go to a movie. You want to take your family, you might spend $70, $80, $90 just to take your family out to see a movie if the movie ain't worth nothing. So we're going to start out with, we have 4 movies. One is Boy Erased, the other is Robin Hood, the other is Creed, and the other is The Green Book. So let's start out with Creed. Since that's one of the most popular movies that came out, everybody was waiting for that movie to come out. So, Brother Julius, you want to give us a little?
So Creed 2 stars Michael B. Jordan. He's Adonis Johnson, Stallone, Tessa Thompson, Felicia Rashad, Dolph Lundgren, Russell Hornsby, Wood Harris, Milo Ventimiglia, Andre Ward, he's a boxer, Bridget Nielsen, and the corner man, Jacob Stitch Durant. So at the last Creed movie, Adonis lost to Pretty Ricky, who was going to jail, and that was his last fight, but it was a really good fight. So in the opening of Creed 2, Adonis beat Danny Wheeler, who's Andre Ward's character, and he gets the belt. Andre Ward's character had knocked Adonis out for his car and sparring in the first Creed movie. And so once Adonis gets the belt, Victor Drago, Ivan Drago's son, wants to challenge him for the belt. And Ivan Drago killed Apollo Creed in, I think, Rocky IV. So yeah, that's the setup for it.
So that's the setup for it, and we all been waiting for it. And when it come out, all the boxing fans and all the Rocky fans and everybody. So, what was your take on it, my brother?
Well, you know, I enjoyed the movie. You kind of expected what the plot was going to be, but you know, I enjoyed it. It did okay. I always thought, I thought about the other movie when Apollo Creed got killed, you
Right.
know, because that movie, when you say Rocky IV, whichever one it was, Apollo Creed, it was supposed to be an exhibition fight. So he's not trained. He's not in there, thinking that this is going to be a real fight, and especially, to the death and all this. So he was like, unaware that this other guy, he was in there to hurt him and, kill him if he had to. So it was like he didn't know what he was getting. It was supposed to be, exhibition, publicity and all that. But this thing turned out to be a real thing. And then, his son fights, the two sons fight and everything. But, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I kind of knew how it was going to go.
Right.
So that wasn't unexpected. But I think that his Adonis's wife You know, that was good. They had a little character building with her, you know, kind of showed her character.
Yeah, they had really good chemistry.
Yeah, they had good chemistry.
Dealing
and-
with her being deaf. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So I thought that her character, you know, they gave her some substance, and you know, he knew that he was with a good woman that would, you know, be a partner with him. So I thought that was a good aspect, you know, of it. And then, you know, you had Rocky. You know, Rocky was Rocky. You know, just a guy, you know, a good guy who he's made mistakes, you know, but his heart was good. You know,
Right.
and even, you know, from even the first Rocky, you know, that was his saving point, that he had a good heart. You know, he was, you know, misused by people in the fighting game and everything, but he had a good heart. And then you had Adonis Creed, you know, mom, Felicia Rashad. You know, she was steady. You know, she was rock steady. You know, she was that rock in the family. So I thought that was good because these people had good qualities. And a lot of times in movies you don't see that, you know. I'll give you an example. God, it was that show Empire that comes on? I watched it the first season, and I think the second season I watched it after that a little bit. But after that I just couldn't take it anymore because nobody had any good...
It was like a circus.
Yeah, nobody had any good redeeming qualities, so I just stopped watching it, you know. I know it's still on, but I just had to stop watching it. I think there's just too many people have serious flaws. We all have flaws, but they were just, you know, one thing after another. So I thought that was good, the different characters. And then Adonis, he has a lot of pride, but he also has a lot of heart, you know. So he has to kind of weigh those two things in his personality. You know, you got to weigh those things and make sure they're balanced, you know, because he can go to one side or to the other. So overall, you know, I enjoyed it. It was about what I expected, you know, and but like some of the characters, you know, I liked, you know. So, you know, what are some of your things, without telling the whole movie?
Well, okay, all right. Before I even get into it, let me ask you guys: was it a family movie, family friendly?
I would say yes. No, there was a bedroom scene that didn't go through the whole thing, but you kind of knew what, you know, the act that they were doing. Besides that, I think you could take your family to see it. Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
yeah.
Social redeeming messages.
I would say yeah, because it showed, like I said, that Adonis had the heart, and then the other characters, you saw the goodness of the other characters. So I thought that was good.
I thought, yeah, like Adonis with his family, that was good. And like Stallone didn't want to train, or Rocky didn't want to train Adonis for the fight. And then, so after that first fight, they fell out, you know, and they mended their relationship. And also, you know how they portray Russians to be tough, but at the end of the movie,
Don't tell the ending now.
well, no, but Dolph Lundgren, Ivan Drago, shows his son unconditional love at the end. So I think that was good too.
Okay. Should we wait for the DVD or go see it now?
You could go see it now. It's, you know.
It's not like the best movie this year. And
No, it's not the best movie. It just depends what your taste. If you've seen Creed 1, you kind of know how Creed 2 is going to kind of turn out. So just you know, it's whatever your tastes are. I mean, you know, I've seen it. I enjoyed it. You know, but everybody has different tastes. You know, so it's up to the person if they want to wait for the DVD or go see it while it's still in the theaters.
I mean, if you want to keep up, because there's gonna be more movies, I would go see it. But if you just want to go see a movie, you could wait for DVD.
Okay. So my take on it. Well, thank you, especially thank you. Wait for the DVD. Man, look at here. Some of the star power in that movie, like you talking about Felicia Rashad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Andre Ward, I'm glad to see him getting that kind of work too, you know, in these boxing movies. You know, he probably getting paid more than he getting paid in a fight, man, being in Hollywood. But one of my favorite actors, Wood Harris, was in the
Yeah,
movie.
his character wasn't developed at all.
No, you
They
had,
didn't.
you had to
and-
kind of know it, like you
Was
told
he
me
the
about.
manager
Yeah.
of Adonis?
And like for his first fight with Victor Drago, they didn't even show him training really, you know. And in the other movies,
Wait a minute, they didn't show who training.
Adonis,
Yeah, I'm talking about Wood Harris.
but that was his trainer for the first
in the
fight.
first fight?
For the first fight with Drago.
He was in the first movie? Wood
yeah,
Harris?
he was in the first movie too.
Okay, okay.
He was he didn't want to train him in the first movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But his character wasn't developed in this.
Well, when you say that, what you mean?
Like he doesn't have a big role in the movie.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But that character in the old Rocky movies was developed. That was Apollo Creed's trainer. That's his son.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So these all-stars, and my favorite man, Wood Harris, you know, was a big draw. But just so we can keep moving, I thought it was one of the worst movies ever made, you know, and it's worth. They could have shot that straight to TV, so I guess I put it like this: unless you a Rocky fan and you want to make sure you see all of the series all the way through Creed and all of that stuff, you know, then you're gonna go see it. You know, ain't nothing nobody can tell you to not make you see it. But in my estimation, you know, you don't have to go see it. Just get the DVD, see it at home, and keep on moving. Because I'm gonna tell you, for a Rocky movie, you understand what I'm saying? I thought it was. Without that star power we talking about, Felicia Rashad, bam, you know what I'm saying? Without that star power, the movie to me was an exact waste of time. But let's move on.
Now let me ask you, but the people at the barbershop, what did they say?
Oh man, they went crazy, man. Oh yeah, man, that was blah 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 blah. Man, I'm looking at these people, man. The fight scenes were good fight scenes. Even I didn't like the fight. I didn't care for the fight scenes. It wasn't that. Everything was predictable, you know, to me. But I was disappointed. I guess I put it like that. It was almost like a cartoon to me. But everybody got different opinions. I was not impressed at all by this movie. Period.
Also, though, the thing I saw is the propaganda, like U.S. versus Russia, and you know, like the Trump stuff going on, and Facebook, the Russian scare thing. You know, I see that in it. So just watch out for the propaganda.
Okay, yeah, we should move on. We're about halfway in the show.
Okay. Next movie, we'll do Robin Hood last. Next movie is a movie called The Green Book. And I saw this movie by accident. And just exposing my ignorance, I didn't know what The Green Book was. And after seeing the movie, I didn't know what The Green Book was until later on, I saw an article about The Green Book on Facebook. Anybody here familiar with The Green Book?
Yeah, if I'm correct, that's the book that African Americans or Negroes or colored people back in the day were to travel for lodging through in the South because they couldn't, because of segregation, they couldn't go to a lot of places, restaurants, hotels, so forth and so on. So there was a guidebook for people to follow. You follow this book, you go to Mr. Williams, you know, hotel and restaurant. And Mr. Williams was, you know, African American, and he was okay. So you needed this green book to travel throughout, so you knew where to go, and so you wouldn't end up not going into the wrong places.
Sundown towns.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Did you know anything about The Green Book?
No, was this like a published?
Yeah, this is a published thing, and it was almost, it told you where the places to go, and some of them had, I think maybe even actual maps to show you what cities to go to where African Americans owned the businesses, so you could go through there in the South, because some of the hotels and motels, they wouldn't let you in. Well, a lot of them, and some restaurants. So this was a guidebook, you know, to where to go, where you could feel safe and didn't have to go through all, you know, that prejudice and racial hatred and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a true story, true book, and yeah, this is really serious.
So the story was based on an international pianist, classical pianist,
Right.
who was being chauffeured and bodyguarded by an Italian dude. And he was played by Vittorio
Mortensen,
yeah.
Vigo.
Yeah. And he played that role good. You know, another Rocky. But he played it. He's another one of my favorite actors too. I've seen
You
him.
think he was a real tough guy?
I've seen him in Eastern Promises though.
Right.
I was impressed by that movie. But the brother who played the pianist,
Marshala Ali.
Marshala Ali, and you know, he played in Moonlight, and he played in a lot of other movies. He played in Hidden Colors,
Figures.
Hidden Figures. Yeah. So they showed you that whole going through the South thing, getting caught in the sundown town, get the police stopping them, you know, and the brothers in the back, and the Caucasians in the front, and the police talking about, you know, what are you doing, you know? Why? He said, I'm driving him, you know. Why are you driving him? And all that kind of crazy stuff. Man. Then they went to one town and they just put him in jail, period, because it was a sundown town. And he said, I got one phone call. You denied me my civil rights. So they let him make a call. And who does he call? He calls the Attorney General, Bobby Kennedy. You know?
I got to see this movie.
So is this a true story?
Yeah. Because at the end, they showed the real guy and the real bodyguard guy. You know?
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to go see it. Yeah.
And so the brother was showing the Italian guy like some class and how to be classy and courtesy and things like that. And the bodyguard guy was he was having the brother write love letters to his wife. You see, he would tell him what to say, so to speak. You know, so then they ran into a situation where the Italian guy ran into some of his Italian friends, gangster friends. You know, and just that conversation, what are you doing? What are you doing with this eggplant? You know, he said, well, I work for him. You know, you can work for me. You know, you got to be disgracing yourself like that. And that went on. But they were speaking in Italian. And the dude was here and listening to it, right? So he said, yeah, you come down to the restaurant, you know, for lunch, and we're going to hook you up, right? So next day, lunch came. And the brother was standing by the hotel door, you know, and he said, so you getting ready to leave me, huh? He said, no, man, no, I was just going down to, he said, they my friends, you know. Said, oh, so you don't think that I pay you enough? He said, no. He said, wait a minute, how do you know what's going on? Then he started speaking Italian. It was crazy, man. And, but the interesting thing about the whole movie is that the brother was homosexual. You see, now you wouldn't have known this because not that he was flaming, right? He just looked like a regular dude. You know? But one of them places in the South, he tried to be with this white boy, right? And the police caught him, beat him up, and put him in jail. And then called the dude to come get him out of jail. You know? So that's why they showed you he was homosexual. So again, I'm coming back to my. You know, they got the Muslim playing the homosexual again. You know, in Moonlight, they had the Muslim, you know, rubber stamping being a homosexual. You know, so this is to me, it's like they're using him. You see what I'm saying? They're using him to let other Muslims watch this.
So did it get graphic and?
No, because it was supposed to be about the Green Book.
Right.
basically. But it was the intertanglement of this other stuff that was in there, you know. And so a Muslim watching this, he said, "Oh, it's okay, you know, big time Muslim actor. He's playing a homosexual. You know, I might as well be one too. You know." So this is my complaint.
Mm-hmm.
But he played the role very good, and I know how they talk to you in Hollywood. Yeah, this would be a good part for you. It'll really show you. You can really demonstrate your
Range.
how your acting abilities. You know, play this role here. You know, it's the same thing they did to Will Smith in 6 Degrees of Separation. That's how they talk to him like that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, The Green Book, for historical purposes, is a good movie to see.
Okay.
But it also has its negative side to it. And I won't give it out at the end. There's something to see at the end, you know, a punchline at the end. So, can we move on?
We can move on. Yeah.
Oh. We did Creed.
You got Boy Race and you have Robin Hood.
Boy Erased, we're going to hit that real quick because we talked about it last time, but I didn't get a chance to finish watching the movie. Boy Erased, I found out, was based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a preacher's son who has homosexual tendencies and is put in a conversion therapy program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is why I wanted to see it, looking from the perspective of a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a scientist, you know, or a therapist. You know, what kind of methods did they use, you know, to try to influence people, young teenagers, to change their way of life? You understand? And that was quite interesting. So I know people might not say, well, I don't want to see no movie with homosexuals, you know. But if you're looking at it from the psychological point of view, how people in societies are influenced, especially young people, it's a movie to watch. It's a movie to watch because they show you all these different approaches. Then they show you a scene in the car, which was, I thought was the real sinister part, the most sinister part of the movie, which had nothing to do with homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
The boys in the car.
Don't tell us.
No, this is not the kicker. This is not going to distract from anything.
Okay.
He's in the car with his girlfriend, right? And she starts kissing him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they get to kissing, and then she wants to put her hand on his crotch, right? And he puts his hand on her and said, no, you know. Now she's confused. Well, why not? What's the matter? Now listen to this conversation. You can't get it hard? I can do something to get it hard for you. You know, she was, now these are religious people in the religious community, right? She was ready to get wild with him. And then he said no. And this is what she said. She said, so why not? What are we supposed to do? Stay like this until we grow up and get married? So his response was not a moral response. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is morally a sin. He just sat there. And she asked all the questions. You know, are we gonna wait till we get married? You know, she was saying it all like, what, you gonna wait till we get married? You know, how long are we supposed to do this? You know, and he just sat there.
So was it saying he was gay? That's why he didn't want? Is that what the?
Well, at that point, he didn't know.
Right.
See what I'm saying? He wasn't sure. He just had tendencies of liking men, but wasn't sure if he was really homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
And but that scene in the car, because see, he was also a preacher's son. This is my point. You know, it'd been quite easy for him to say, you know, this is not morally right for us. You know we sinning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's not even go down that road. You understand what I'm saying? Let's be pleasing in the eyes of God. You know, he didn't say nothing. So I'm saying that to say, in real life, people would look at that, you know, because she was ready to go. She was ready to fornicate, sodomize, and everything else, you know. And he froze, told her stop. So I'm saying there was no provision for anybody young watching that movie to be able to help them along if they had a moral base. You understand what I'm saying? And a guy that caught in a situation like that, you know, there was no, usually these movies provide you with information that you can use yourself. Then was nothing there, so I said, okay, there you go. And so not to give away the movie, because we want to move on past this movie, but what I do,
Yeah, you only got about 30 seconds.
I would recommend people to go see that movie. Like I say, from a therapeutic point of view.
Okay.
The last movie is Robin Hood. And anybody seen it?
No.
Nobody seen it. Okay, so in my estimation, this is one of the best movies made. It's right up there with the big times,
Okay.
you know. And
She said it hasn't been doing good.
yeah, that's what you was telling me, yeah. Jamie Foxx is extraordinary at his very best. It's a must-see, yes. Family movie, yes. Social message, yes. It shows how the devil has infiltrated religion and how the masses are used and abused through politics. It shows, yes.
That sounds like that's a must-see movie then.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got fight scenes, chase scenes, personal development scenes. It's a classic.
Okay.
It's
And it's just called Robin Hood.
Just called Robin Hood.
Who else is in it besides
Brand new
Jamie,
take on Robin Hood.
Jamie Foxx?
You remember the young white guy who played in the not the Avengers, not Dangerous Men. It was about a group of people that
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
something like that. Yeah. They was from England.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played in it. He played an excellent role. He played the role to a T. He was the Lord of Nottingham or something. Loxley, Lord of Loxley, yeah. And they had Maid Marian. Maid Marian demonstrated how to be in your man's corner. You know, I mean, she played that role too, you know, because every time he'd get down and want to give up, she'd pump him right back up again, you know. So Robin Hood, must see. Good family movie. You can take your family to see it. Thank you for watching this show today, movie review. And we hope to continue to go out and watch these movies and bring you back some more information. Thank you, Brother Naeem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Julius.
All right.
And assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Peace be upon you. And again, thank you for watching.